Well, President Trump telling the New York Times he's going to win in 2020 because the media needs him. To Turning Point USA co-founder Charlie Kirk. Charlie, there are 2 points here, what he's saying and why he's saying it. First of all, to what he's saying. Any truth to it?
I think so. Well, look, I think he's going to win in 2020. I think he's going to have a wonderful 2018. And you look at this tax cut that was just passed, we're going to see an explosion of economic growth. But look, I think people vastly underestimate this president. And I think he's really settling in, especially his last couple months, with these massive decisions. And you look at his approval rating, it's exactly where it was for Barack Obama at this very same time after his first year. And when people are going to see more and more money in their pockets and more economic success, you're going to see the president's popularity improve even more. All right. So the question, we may never know the answer to this, but why do you think he's saying this? Does he just like to play with the media, or what's going on? Well, I think that's part of it. I mean, I think he likes to be able to punch back to the media that's been extremely unfair to him these last 9 months. And I like to say, you know, if we had a president a Democrat president that achieved what President Trump has been able to do this last year, whether it be the stock market gains, unemployment falling, 1.5 million jobs created, they would say that was historic. Instead, you know, all these other media networks, all you hear about is Russia and all this other nonsense. So, look, I think he likes to punch back against the media. It's been very unfair to him, and he's finding ways to go around. He's finding ways to circumvent the traditional media channels and go directly to the American people. Matt, this is a big president. He's not only physically big, but he's a big in everything he says, everything he does is big, and therefore he's an ideal president to cover from whatever perspective you are, whether you're anti-Trump, pro-Trump, or right down the middle.
Absolutely. Everybody who covers news for a living, every network that dwells on news, they're seeing subscriptions, viewership, audience go up. They're all becoming nervous wrecks in the process, and some of them are freaking out because he calls them fake news all the time. I mean, there's going to be no honeymoon with the press and this president because he wouldn't want that at all. The only thing that Republicans have in common with each other anymore, it isn't about international trade. It isn't about a whole lot of things that used to be Republican. It's that they all hate the media. So the president is going to be bopping the media in the nose every single week, and you know that's true. And the media is going to return fire, especially since next year the biggest political story is going to be the Russia investigation, and they just don't agree on that.
Kat, we know that he hates fake news and talks about it all the time, how much he hates and everything, but does he need the media? They are a great punching bag for him. It does give him a sort of unity with his base whenever he talks about the fake media and how much they hate him and how much they hate the deplorable. Is it because of that deplorable comment that the media did what Hillary did, is link Donald Trump in with all of his supporters as deplorables?
Well, I think, for one thing, the deplorable comment might be why he won, or a major reason why he won, because there were people who supported him or sort of supported him, and they don't like being called something like that just because they support President Trump. But I think that the media thing, I think they need each other. I think they feed off of each other. I think that this is going to go on forever and ever. I thought that the word favor was interesting, because I agree with Matt. There's going to be no honeymoon. It's not all of us. I mean, he has accomplished some things, and rather than covering, for example, how the economy is doing well, people are covering instead on CNN, MSNBC, you know, how much Diet Coke he drinks and stuff like that. Right. But the thing is, that's still covering him. It's all Trump all the time. And if he wanted to be on any of these networks, he could at any time, and they would interview him, which is, you saw how much press he got in the last election. Right. He didn't even have to really spend money on advertising because he was on every channel all the time.
And Charlie, nobody knows advertising, nobody knows branding better than Donald Trump did. His whole life he's been talking about the value of that word Trump, and whenever that word Trump is exposed, whether it's for negative purposes by the mainstream media or what, it's good for the brand itself, for Donald Trump. That's correct. I think he's going to have the most name ID imaginable going into 2020. And look, you have to give a lot of credit. He was able to rebrand what traditionally would have been a failed messaging strategy of this last tax plan. You know, originally McConnell wanted to call it tax reform. He said, no, we're going to call it tax cuts, tax cuts, tax cuts. And you know, people was like, yeah, it actually sounds a lot better. And he's a master. He's brilliant at branding, and he's able to get, you know, short sound bites out there, whether it be Make America Great Again, or even, you know, hey, we're going to get that wall and it's going to go 10 feet taller. And he's built a brand. And in 2017, you've seen the media have to cover it. And I agree with Kat. You know, it's 24/7 on every single network, not always very positive. Usually they're covering stuff that's not so, you know, good with what he's doing. But the results speak for themselves, and it's going to be very decisive in these next coming years. An old saying in PR: as long as they spell the name right. That as long as you get the name out there and spell it right, you're doing well. Thank you very much, Charlie. Good to see you. Appreciate it.